Here we are at the Warner Springs Ranch House. We went for a tour, not realizing that they gave formal tours, and it was very informative, and we really enjoyed the history that we learned about, and we highly recommend if you've got a day to just relax and see some countryside, do this tour. All the swallows and the trucks. Surprise! We're at the Warner-Carrillo Ranch House. It's a historical marker for, what, honey, this was the Old West times?
Yeah, probably 150 years ago.
All right, let's walk around.
You
I
want
love,
inside?
that's the old adobe construction up there, right? Warner Ranch House. In 1844, Governor Manuel Mitchell Torrena granted 44,000 and some acres to Juan Jose Warner, who built this house. General Kearney passed here in 1846. Mormon Battalion in 1847. First Butterfield stage stopped at this ranch on October 6, 1858, en route from Tipton, Missouri to San Francisco, 2,600 miles. Time, 24 days. This was the southern overland route into California. State registered landmark, number 311. Marker placed by the San Diego County Board of Supervisors and the Historical Markers Committee, erected in 1964. All right, you said there's a Mortero? That's a stone with a lot of use. That's
Here's
pretty
one
deep
here
hole.
that's very old, right here. This is a great one for that.
Warner Ranch. 1962. I wasn't even a thought yet.
I was 3 years old.
So she was saying this is one of the last
hand
hand-hewn erected barns. Watch for snakes, she said. I love all the swallows. I guess I'll step back and then we'll get closer and see some details. Wow, so much traffic. And I already forgot, what year was this erected?
1850s.
1850s?
1840s.
1840s, 1850s. All right, let's see what's inside.
There's an old buggy
Really? I'll come over there.
and a saddle.
All right, let's go see what Mark found. Let's go check it out.
The red wheel.
So wait, where's the buggy?
Straight back.
Oh, I see the red wheels. Hang on, let me zoom in on that. And then what else did you say is in here? I can't see because of the glare. Hoping you guys can see.
See the horses down here.
Horsies, yay!
They're swishing.
We've driven by here so many times and never stopped. So today I can't, oh yeah, there they are, way in the back. Maybe we'll walk over there later. They're too hard to see. I was starting to say that we've driven by here probably over my lifetime, hundreds of times, and we've never stopped. So we decided today to stop and see this historical landmark. There must be 50 swallows up there. The docent was letting us know that when they had finally redone the plaster, there was some of our rainstorms that swept through the area and washed everything off. But I actually kind of like to be able to see the brickwork underneath. I'm going to stand up here and zoom in for you. You can see the adobe bricks.
There's some mud dauber's nest up in the
Oh yeah, those are the swallow nests, honey. They make mud nests.
Oh.
Look at that pretty view out there. I don't know if you can see the glass in this window, but it's wavy as you walk by. You can see it's the old-timey glass because of the ripple effect in the reflection. Very cool. And this is the little outhouse. Gotta film that. Mark's going in. Okay, we gotta go in. Let's go see. Our docent happened to be the head docent, Catherine Fletcher. She's related to the Fletchers in San Diego, if you're familiar with Fletcher Parkway. That's the Fletchers. I believe she grew up with the LA Fletchers.
That's where I met my wife. I had my first drink in the bar.
Right.
So
Yeah, I miss the inside of that building. It just was so, you know, it
in here also, but this is the sala, the living room, and you were talking about the brands. Here are some of them, and you'll see a few on doors and other places. This is an 1857 building.
Okay.
We were trying to settle the historic argument of did Warner build this building or did the Carrillos build this building?
It was probably after Warner, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That's what
because
I feel.
Warner was here in 1847 when the Mormon battalion came through, and they describe him in their diary and his home, and he had come west in 1831 with Jedediah Smith's third expedition when Smith is killed near Santa Fe, and Warner continues on, takes the sailing ship around Cape Horn and goes back to Lyme, Connecticut,
Right.
all the way back there. 10 years later, when we've gone from being part of Spain to Mexico, he comes back in 1841. Well, you know, these huge distances. And he becomes friends with Pio Pico, our second Mexican governor, marries an adopted girl that has been adopted by Pico's mother. Her name's Anita Gale. And they have 3 children. He becomes a naturalized Mexican citizen. he becomes a Catholic, where he had been a Protestant. You'll like this door. I have to keep rocks here. Here's some other brands on this door. But so he does all the right things to be in line for a Mexican land grant.
Okay.
Now, this Valley de San Jose had been a land grant to a man named Portillo under the mission of San Luis Rey in Oceanside.
Mm.
Now, the San Isabel Valley is under the Alcalde de San Diego, so it's
Okay.
what mission you're related to. And railing wind.
Oh.
And they
okay.
did that for an important reason, because you were cooking and lighting and heating with fire, and it would get very smoky.
So you get a draft.
And if you know, almost every day, this is a very windy pass. This
It
is a
sure
windy
is.
pass,
Yep.
and it's always windy here.
You got
Watch
the
your
foothills
step
on
in.
both sides, basically tunneling it. or
Yeah, I
funneling.
mean, if you look geographically, the Warner Valley is ringed by mountains, and it's
Yes.
a giant bowl.
Yes.
And this has always been about water and ranching here. And under the valley is one of the biggest aquifers in the west. So it's not just the water that's in Lake Henshaw, it's what's underneath.
Well, I remember Lake Henshaw actually coming up to those cottonwoods on the side of the road
Yeah.
as you're heading towards Santa Isabel. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It was all the way up
But-
there, and people would look at me like I have three heads. It's
No,
like,
no.
that water was all the way up to
Yes,
almost
but
to
it's
the
not
road.
today for two reasons.
Didn't
One,
they dam it, or they're letting water out of it to Vista or something
well,
like that?
the water, the lake was founded by William Henshaw.
Okay.
It was opened in 1922. He
22.
He, on Christmas Day, he and other people always recognized that this was a great watershed.
Yeah.
And sometimes they called it the Great Meadow, the Big Meadow.
Okay.
And if you were an immigrant, it was the first place after the desert you saw some green grass and water and trees.
Right.
So-
right.
Henshaw did that. He built the dam. He also built Lake Wolford.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the water from here is the beginning of the San Luis Rey River that goes
Okay.
all the way down 76.
Okay.
When the 20 years of drought hasn't helped, but in 71, there was the Silmar earthquake
Mm-hmm.
up in the San Gabriel,
Yeah,
or San Fernando Valley,
hearing
remember
of
that?
Right.
And that Van Norman Dam collapsed.
Yep.
After that, the water,
And that took out a lot,
yes,
all the
Took out
way
a
almost to the
hospital.
ocean.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was, like Henshaw, a earthen dam that is covered with concrete.
Okay.
William Henshaw also owned the Riverside Portland Cement Company.
Huh.
That made the building of a Hoover Dam and a lot of other dams
Right.
possible.
Right.
And I can open it to get some light. We're not going to go out this door because of
Okay.
the swallows.
Okay.
They make a mess. But to give you a little more light in here. The water from here goes down, and then it goes to an aquifer channel, a huge pipe that goes over past Rincon. You
Yeah.
can barely see it, to Lake Wolford.
Okay.
No, it supplies some of northern Escondido. It also supplies Vista, parts of Palma Valley and Fallbrook. So
That's
the
a
whole
wide
development
range.
of northern San Diego County and all the crops and fruits and things that we know of today would have not been possible without the dam. So yeah, it did come up to 76, 79.
Right.
There was a huge rain in, I think, 29 that basically almost filled it, and this year has been,
It's a bumper crop. This
but
yeah.
when there's lots of rain,
Yeah.
water sales go down.
Okay. Okay.
It's a good news, bad news situation.
Right. Right.
So when,
Tobacco.
yep,
like
a plug of tobacco.
That was a flood.
Yep.
And Mershon pipe, isn't it? The white. Interesting.
So when they finally sell some water and trees, they could rest and restock and get their livestock back up to par. But this building was built in 57 by Vincenta and her second husband after she had been married to Thomas Yorba
I'm
of
not
the
familiar.
Yorba Linda. You can see this beam behind you is the one that obviously had been burned at some point.
It
So we
has.
were a little confused by that.
You think it was repurposed?
Yes, so
Because it was still pretty good timber.
it was, but most of the timber down here is cottonwood and willow.
Yes.
Or oak, and oak is curvilinear. And so much of the timber had to be cut from pine and cedar
Okay.
up on Palomar, particularly the barn,
Okay.
because you can't use the cottonwood, it's too soft, or the willow. So on the desk here, we're gonna have a little history lesson about the United States in 1857.
Okay.
So the Creoles have just gotten here and built this. And this is what the United States looks like. And you'll see this map too in the display room. Sometimes people like to take a picture of that and of the stations of the Butterfield in California.
So this is not even Arizona yet.
No, or Nevada.
Well, that would be Nevada.
Wow.
Arizona's
Or
down
Colorado.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, Texas
see right here,
is a
this-
republic.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's before the Gadsden Purchase.
Wow.
You have Northern Plain Indians and Comanches.
Mm-hmm.
And right here is Tipton, Missouri. And that is where the Transcontinental Railway ends.
Interesting.
We're
So we're just in no person's land all the way across.
yeah, you have the gold rush here.
Yep.
You have statehood
Yeah.
in 50. You have the Texas Republic.
Isn't that
Oregon
something?
and Washington are there. But
Look at that.
look
That's
at
the
this.
Wild
It's
West,
totally
right?
open.
It is totally open, and they estimate it will be 15 years to complete the Transcontinental Railway. So go back in time before the Civil War.
Right.
You're starting to have the Industrial Revolution in the East.
In the east, definitely.
But the West is unknown.
Yeah.
The biggest problem that the United States has is there's no transcontinental mail.
No.
It has to go all the way around Cape Horn
Oh, it did. It literally was on boat.
My
It went-
gosh.
And
to Panama.
isn't that something?
Wow.
This is Los Angeles via Panama. So this is from the east. And they would go down through the Gulf of Mexico and across the Isthmus of Panama and the Isthmus of Nicaragua.
Interesting.
And of course there's no canal. And there's
Right.
typhoid and there's malaria. But
Right.
we'd go on a steamship
Yep.
from San Francisco to Los Angeles and then to Panama and then across, and there was no
How many
way.
days? Like 50 days? 60 days?
Oh, I'm sure even
Yeah,
longer.
there's nothing under 3 to 6 months to get mail.
Oh, my.
And so the government has a huge issue with this. They have a lot of gold they want to bring
Yeah, they
out of
do.
California, but
Yeah,
the
they do.
mail's the big thing. And so they need a way to do this, and how they do this is to have John Butterfield contracted to
He
build the
created
longest
that
stage
stage
route in the
route.
world for $600,000 a year for 6 years, which is 17 million a year today. And he has to establish over 150 stops of about 1,000 employees,
I had
1,800
no idea.
horses, 100 Concord stages, some mud wagons or celerity
You gotta
wagons.
figure out the
You have-
watering
have-
holes along the way.
Yep, and this is Division 1 here. We were part of Division 8 from Yuma to
Huh.
LA.
Wow.
Division 9 ended in San Francisco. So I'm going to show you the stage stations in there.
Okay.
I brought a piece of asphalt from the old barn, and I just put it in my house, just so I had it. But it was
Well,
like,
this road would have not been there during the Warner and Carrillo
Okay.
time. It was often they built roads near the stream bed because it's
Okay.
the path of least resistance.
Okay.
This is that living room that we were in,
Right.
and the manta is still hanging there.
Now, how long was the total restoration in time to?
It was a couple of years. It took us,
Because it seemed quick to me.
well,
it
we
was well
finished in
orchestrated,
2012.
Okay.
But it was a major effort.
No
Um,
doubt, no doubt.
This is a picture of when we
that's the original wall before they replastered. It's just like our bowl at home. Yeah, that bathtub was too cool.
Isn't that amazing?
And churn your butter.
That's how you do it if you're a carnivore.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm coming, hang on. I love these doors. And that door's shorter than I am, so that's probably a 5-foot door.
You see this one here?
I'm making my way that way. Oh yeah, look at that. Very cool. I love that table.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's the stones underneath, the grinding stones. Let's see what's on the table here. We've got laundry and sewing. Oh, look at the marbles and the map. Marble game. And she said everything in here is period, right?
Mm-hmm. 1850s.
1850s.
1900s.
Look at those delicate scissors. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the sewing machine. I've never seen one like that.
You hand crank it. What's that?
It's so tiny. I mean, just it's tiny. All right, let's see the dishes. I want to go in here. I haven't seen in this other room yet, in this bedroom. Ooh, look at the sword. And I think that's a rug beater. Yeah. Okay, so watch your head. That's kind of scary. And she was saying that they put the cloth on the ceilings to keep the dirt and bugs from falling through the roof, or the ceiling rather. Wow, look at those trunks. I love that. Wow. Let's see the door. Probably heard me swallow. Look at that old comb. Maybe hairpins? Or fingernail tools? That's interesting. I don't know what that is. No idea what that is. Oh, maybe it's a purse. Wow, it's a purse, I believe. Look at that fan. And the old rosary. it's maybe like a little 3-inch frame. It's tiny. Get this little baby frame. And I love the old books. Wow. Okay, I gotta go find Mark outside. Let's go see what he's doing. Hey, I gotta have the chamber pot. All right, so we're back outside. Don't know which way he went. Let's go see some of the tack. There's horseshoes. All right, where did my husband go? You watching for snakes, husband?
Saw where people carved their initials in the door over
Oh, really? Like new initials or old initials?
there. Old initials.
Oops, gotta watch my angle there. You wouldn't want to be in here during an earthquake.
Say again?
You wouldn't want to be in here during an earthquake.
It'd probably be all right. You got a lot of shoring up in here.
Oh, okay, I see now.
There's a rock separator of some sort. The corrugated steel's all new.
Do bumblebees attack?
No.
I love those adobe bricks. There's a swarm of bumblebees above my head.
Yeah, they're just kind of checking stuff out.
I'm so glad.
They'll ignore you.
Okay. I'm so glad we did this today.
Okay.
And for all of you watching, it's worth coming out to the historical marker here, the
Warner
old Warner house. Take a look.
Look at all the shingles.
Yeah, that's some bundles there, isn't it?
Yep.
That's so cool. Now, are you picking up any energy since you're here?
Definitely a lot of animal life. They kept, it feels like there's a lot in here. They had the new baby cows and stuff that needed to get shoed so they could put saddles on them.
The cows. They didn't shoe the cows.
They didn't shoe them? I'm not sure they would. You see where the owls have come up and been up there in the rafters. I bet they ate a lot of the mice that were in here
Oh, you bet.
because of the grain and everything.
No doubt.
Think about it. This was occupied over 150 years ago. Pretty amazing. I'm just impressed with the size of these timbers. These are very large timbers, and you can see where they hand hewed them. Right there. They
Oh,
just
sure enough, the
pulled-
axe
pulled it.
marks.
draw on
Never seen so many bumblebees.
it. Ah, I'm getting attacked by them.
Don't scare me. Wow. And there's the ranch house. And she said it had the porches all around, right?
Yep.
At one time.
They're so big.
But you can tell how much cooler it is up here compared to down in the desert. Look at these old nails, babe.
Yeah. Buzzing each other.
Yeah, they are.
Did you know on paper that they're not supposed to be able to fly?
Oh, the bees? I think I have heard that. Because of their proportions and their wing size. Look at this little blackbird.
Our mathematics just don't allow for it. Did you bring some cash?
I do have a little bit of cash, babe.
Good, because I wanted to give her like everything we had.
Okay. Okay, I'll be right back.
Color book,
Okay.
but it shows a few pictures of her. She was a tiny little thing, and
Big dog.
she was really something else. But
1913.
it gives a little justice to her and
She
her
was
paintings.
just a little wisp, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she, those paintings that were in Casa del Zorro, there's a picture in here somewhere of her pretty white-haired on a
Oh.
couch in front of the
1913.
In front of that,
Butterfield
yeah,
bar that was
yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
So, she shows
Okay,
this
thank you.
page. She,
Were those her kids?
yeah,
Was she married?
kids, and she had 4 marriages. The last one, she became a very devout Catholic.
Really?
And she, yes, it was sort of
Interesting.
strange.
That
And
is.
she used to say, God is doing the painting, I just hold the brush.
I hold the brush.
And she could have cared less about the commercial
Yeah,
value.
yeah,
She was
yeah.
really unusual in that.
That's interesting. Well, she must have been pretty well taken care of to be able to not have to worry about that.
Well, she didn't. I mean, she lived. She was famous for buying old abandoned cabins
Okay,
and fixing them up.
okay.
And
And she'd sell them or keep them for family and such?
hmm?
The cabins, did she, after she fixed them?
She
up,
would
did
sell
she
one
them?
after the other.
Okay.
You know, sometimes a
So
lot
she
of
was
them were
the
rentals.
early flipping
She
of
was
real estate.
renting a lot.
We hope you enjoyed that little taste of the tour at the Warner-Carrillo Ranch House. We really enjoyed our time there, and it's $5 for the tour. It's well worth it. There's a lot to see there. I believe we spent a couple hours there. It'd be nice to take a picnic, so come on down. Please give a thumbs up as a show of support. Thank you.